in the minds of the people. Yo.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Broadcasting Seeds. Today, we are with Flat Earth Dave. Dave Weiss, is that?
AKA Dave Weiss, yeah.
AKA. So Dave, for folks in my audience that are not familiar with who you are, could you tell us who you are, what you do, and what's the best places to find you?
It's a big question. Good questions. I'm just a guy that was kind of looking for truth in my life, and I discovered the big ones. The event that happened in New York and Connecticut and Massachusetts with the marathon. And while looking into all that, people started sending me flat Earth stuff, and just like any normal, sensible person, I just tell them that they were morons, and I'd ban them from ever commenting on our social media again. And then it wasn't until my friend Sophia Smallstorm, those of you that are into the truth world may know who she is. She did 9/11 Mysteries. She did Unraveling Sandy Hook and a bunch of other documentaries. She's like, Dave, you have to look into this. And I said, okay, I'm going to look into it, but not as a truth seeker, as a debunker. I'm going to debunk this idiocy, flat Earth. Of course, it's a globe. Come on, there's astronauts, everything. And and only when you do that do you go, holy crap, have I been deceived my entire life? So jump forward. I was a businessman. I went into corporate America. I started my own company with a couple partners. I had what you might call the American dream. You're your own boss. You make your own hours. You work hard, but you make a lot of money. And my truth journey was interfering with my business journey. And I had to make a decision. And I asked God for a sign. And man, did I get some signs. And I walked away from it all to be laughed at, ridiculed, shot at, all sorts of things. And I would never redo that decision again. It's the greatest decision I've ever made in my entire life. And I get to talk to people like you and other people, and just waking people up every day. And it is happening faster and faster. This is right now, we are literally, when they show you that chart where things are going up and to the right, and then they start hockey sticking up, we are parabolically, is that a word? Going through that curve right now. And people are waking up faster and faster.
And what's the best place to find you?
FlatEarthDave.com, because the censorship is huge. Now, I've been on so many different podcasts that if you go on YouTube and you search Flat Earth Dave, you'll actually find my channel, and one of my channels, my interviews channel, and you'll find a lot of videos by me, but you'll also get served a bunch of BS that they want you to see. Right. Everyone's like, oh, I saw you on YouTube. I saw you with that Professor Dave. First, he's not a professor. But he's a professional debunker, and he's horrible. He's just the worst if you actually listen to him. But they'll push that one. That one's still, even my worst interview ever is waking up more and more people. So I've done over 1,400 interviews since 2021, and I've lost count at this point. And it's working. People are waking up, and people like, with all the atrocities in the world, Dave, why are you focusing on flat Earth? There's children starving and this and that and wars and everything. It's because flat Earth is the foundation of our world. And if they have you spinning on a ball, they can get you to believe that if you breathe on grandma, she's going to die.
Yeah. So let me ask you, do you think, we're just talking about the hockey stick. And I was just talking about this with a guy on a podcast, an episode that I was just doing before this one. And do you think that hockey stick, do you think it's not necessarily just it's like our environment? Something in our environment has changed as well. Not just information flow, but the way that something like people will always say something feels different, Yep. And do you believe that as well?
1,000%. Let's try to put it into words if I can.
Yeah.
We are in a spiritual war. Let's just start at the base. We're in a spiritual war. And the way you win a spiritual war is you convince the entire world that it doesn't exist. And and everything is energy and vibration. I mean, I hate the word simulation.
Right.
Man, it's a good word. Okay. Man, it's a good word. So, but this is real. It's not a simulation. It's real. What does real mean though? So we live on this dielectric plane in a toroid. I know that you like talking about the toroid. And I could actually bring that up real quick. This is the simple way I see the earth right here. Right. So we live in this double toroid and we live on this dielectric plane in the center. This is where all physicality is. Everything else is spiritual. Everything else is energetic. Our thoughts create our world, right? And the sun, I believe we get our consciousness from the sun. Without the sun, I don't think anyone would even be conscious. And everything is changing. These energy fields are changing. And I don't like calling them the rulers, that the people that are trying to rule over us, they're trying to change everything. They're with all the stuff that they put in the sky. I don't know how deep you are into, the spraying of our skies and all the frequencies and everything else. They're literally trying to keep us disconnected. The globe disconnects you from creation. Flat Earth makes you understand that there is no other option than this place is intelligently designed. So yeah, the energy is changing. It's probably just a natural cycle of the earth where we have these frequency changes and, people are waking up. 10 years ago, you mentioned flat earth to somebody, you just get laughed at.
Yeah.
And now people are like, that makes a lot of sense now that I looked at it. But the problem is, people are still lost in their egos and they've doubled down and they just don't want to have to relearn everything, right? Last thing, most people hated school. And the people that really hated school, those are the smart ones because their soul is going, this is bullshit. Don't listen to this shit. This is horrible. All of it. All of our school, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You want to become an orthopedic surgeon, you got to go get some training for that. But everything else, you can learn anything you want. You don't need to go to a university, go into debt, and to learn a bunch of slave math and a bunch of nonsense. Right. So there you go. Long answer short answer long, whatever that was.
So I guess for people that don't buy into it, right, or just the fact that the people are curious, right, and I think that's what's happening in this world too, is that curiosity's been piqued because we've been lied to so much. I think people are more open now to alternative knowledge, right, and less brainwashed, right, at this point. Not everyone, but a lot of people. So just for people that are like in this real light, like what are the top 3 pieces of evidence that convinced you the earth isn't what we've been taught? And I think I like to use it that way better. It's like, it's not what we were taught.
It's different for everybody. Some people, it's the Bible. Well, the Bible would be the last thing that would convince me. If you told me at the beginning, someone mentioned the Bible, I'm like, oh, a bunch of religious freaks and I'm out of here. But then there's so many different things, but it's different for every person. Not one person. Some people said, "Oh, the censorship." But now I'm going to look into it. Oh my God, there's no curvature. We can see too far once you understand that. The problem is, people haven't been taught how to think. They're taught what to think. Right? We're taught that boats go over the horizon because of the ball. A 3-year-old can understand that. You're ducking behind a ball. You're ducking behind a hill. You can't be seen. But the real reason things disappear is more complicated. It's actually simple, but it's a longer explanation. And the other thing is, we're deceived a lot about how we see the world. So what do you see here? How far away do you think these trees are?
Yeah.
How far away do you think they are?
I don't know, probably quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile. Now, is this pond just very calm or is it frozen? Now, there's a clue here that would tell you that it's probably not frozen because the grass is pretty green.
Yeah, the grass is pretty green.
Right. Why don't we see the trunk of this tree? Is it over the curve of the earth? Interesting. Maybe it's not a tree. Maybe it's a bush, right?
Right.
You don't know, but we see things how we've been taught to see them, right? This is not a pond. This is a white fence in a yard.
Yeah.
See it now?
Yeah, well, see, and once you say it, now I see it.
Yeah, it's just a white fence. It's a 10-foot high white fence, right?
Yeah.
The tree's just in the next yard. So when we look at different things, you have to understand, the only proofs that globers have is the sky. They say the stars, the sun, this and that. Anything anyone says about anything in the sky is a theory, because unless you can go there and touch it and see it, you can't make a claim. It's just a theory. I mean, what is the sun made out of? Do you know the heliocentric explanation of the sun?
Yeah, I mean, they say hydrogen and burning
hydrogen and helium in a space vacuum. You know that violates natural law.
Right.
So the helio-nonsensical model is absolutely insane, right? Oops, two things going here. They tell us that we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. The moon is orbiting around us at 2,000 miles an hour. We're orbiting around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. But we don't feel any of these things.
Right.
They're all curved motions. Right? When the sun's here, it's got to slow down. Here, it's got to speed up or the Earth is going to get away from it. It's got to speed up even faster to catch up with the Earth. It's got to maintain that speed until it gets over here, and then it has to slow down or it'll run away from the Earth. And then it has to slow down again and let the Earth pass it. What's the mechanism for that?
Great question.
There is no mechanism for that.
Yeah,
and here's the thing, people. People love going to, well, I'm not a scientist. I don't have a degree. Well, a degree is a degree in indoctrination in most cases, especially when it comes to cosmology. But the reason you can't figure it out is not because you're stupid. It's because it's stupid. It's stupid. That's why you can't figure it out.
Yeah. It's stupid.
You get it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was looking for something, but I forgot exactly where it was, and now I just remembered. Go ahead. Question while I'm stalling here.
Yeah. So, in your view, who benefits the most from maintaining a globe model? Like,
That's a great question. So people, when I do, I go on TikTok lives in the morning on my friend Angels of Light channel, and he lets globers up one at a time, usually younger, 20s, 30s, some older. And they're like, oh, the Earth is definitely a globe, but they can't give their own model, right? And when we take away each thing that they thought was a proof, they go, well, why would everyone lie? You can't keep a secret. You can't even keep a BJ a secret in the White House, right? Which is another psyop. And the answer is, I'm not the one that's lying, but the real reason is, that we can speculate, and it's pretty clear. It's all about control. It's all about making you think that you're insignificant, making you think that there is nothing else. There's nothing else to explore, Truman. Remember that? Truman, I want to be an explorer. There's nothing else to explore. Well, guess what? If you go south, you pop up back north. That's what they tell us, but no one's ever done it. Yeah. You can go north and then go back south again. You can go east and west, which are circles around the center. But you can't go south and pop up on the other side, because south is out. South is away from the center. So I just want to show you why I got this up. This is the sun. So this is how we see the sun in the sky. But the sun is really like the diameter of the tip of my finger. The sun is just a little dot here. The rest of this is glare.
Right.
The rest of it is glare. And watch, as we go behind the pole, look at that glare is going over the pole. The pole's not transparent. It's just glare. And as soon as the whole sun, the little dot in the middle, is behind the pole, where'd the sun go? How'd that whole sun go behind that pole?
Yeah.
Right? The sun just is coming out on the sides a little bit, and it's giving us a little bit of glare. And so here comes the glare again. The pole's not being chopped in half. So you have to understand, this is all in our eye. The sun is just a little dot in the middle.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's one of the things I just did an episode talking about what it started. I started studying how we actually see, right?
Yeah.
And what our brain actually, that what we see, like so much of it is actually fabricated to an extent, right? It's our brain filling in the gaps, right?
Yeah.
So it just, and we are at any given moment like 100 milliseconds. What we see is like 100 milliseconds behind what's actually happening because it's our brain filling stuff in.
Unless you can use your gut brain and see 100 milliseconds ahead of what you're seeing.
Right. So this is, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going.
Wait, before you go there. So if a baby that's first day on Earth looks at this, they're not going to see it different. They're not going to realize what you realize. Now, what do you realize? This door here is farther than this door, right?
Yeah, visually.
Visually. Well, is it farther away?
I mean, in the picture it is.
Is it? So this is a hallway. Right. And so I'm going to just watch here. I'm turning, and watch what happens. So our brains, based on life experiences, let us see what we want to see. But
Yes.
if you look, this is actually just a cone. Now I'm going to stop it right there. This is on one side, this is on the other. And as we turn, it, boom, it switched.
Right.
And now you can't unsee it.
Yes.
Now
Correct.
you can't unsee it. It's how we interpret the world, what we're told to see. I could have told you that pond, you know, there was a fence. I could have said pond, but I didn't even need to.
Yeah.
Right. So we're easily fooled by what we see. So when people go, well, pictures from space.
Because it's based on what
Yeah.
we're told.
Yeah. 100%.
Mostly.
100%.
Right. And there's also a protection mechanism in there. So
Yeah.
you're protecting what is your, because we all have confirmation bias to an extent, right? And where does that come from? So it's what we see is protects that vision that we already have, right?
What I'm trying to show here is unless you can touch it and measure it, you don't know anything, right?
For sure.
Now,
right.
is this a triangle or is it a parabola? Well, it's a parabola. Okay. And it's a little model here. And it's spinning around in circles, but it looks like it's spinning left and right. It's spinning around in circles, but your brain won't let you see the smaller end come towards you. It's not going back and forth. It's spinning in circles. So how can we try to break this illusion? So what we can do is we're going to get it. See, you can see it's a parabola here, and we're going to stick a pen through it. So put a little tape on the pen there. Stick it in there, and then he's going to spin up this wire, and it's going to spin around. And now, do you think you'd be able to see it spinning in a 360? Ready? Have you ever seen this?
I haven't.
Watch this. So he's spinning it up, and now it's just going to spin. It's not going to go back and forth. All right? Can you even make sense of what you're seeing?
No.
And you can't unsee it.
Right.
It's spinning around, but your brain won't even let you see it, even though I told you what you're seeing. And the pen is giving it away, but it looks like the pen's morphing through it.
Right. It's like they're both spinning independently to an extent.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
It's where we live.
It's where we live. So, all right. Do you believe like actual, I mean, I know your name, it's in the name, Flat Earth Dave, right?
Yeah.
But what do you actually believe? Like what if we break it down, what do you think is actually going on?
I think we live on it's obviously God created, whatever you want, wherever you want to point your God, that's up to you. And we live on this extended plane. I believe that they're hiding more area.
I was wondering if that was.
Yeah, they're definitely hiding more area. Have you seen my thing about Kiribati or Kiribati?
I feel like I'm like it's here, but I can't tell you exactly
It's
what.
about the ships going into the outer lands.
That's yes, which is completely fascinating to me.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. I haven't talked about it in a while, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So this is how they. Whoops, where am I going here? What is going on? Give me a second. I got too many things going on. Okay. All right. So this is where we live. This pink line, it represents 60 degrees south. No one's allowed to independently explore beyond there. You can pay a lot of money, go on this peninsula here in Antarctica, and they tell you you're on the edge of a continent. Well, really, what's out here? What's out here? Nobody knows. Not nobody. No regular people are allowed to know. So let me just get to the thing. So where did it go? Right down here. All right. So this is a ship tracking website. You can go on the ship tracker, cruise ship tracker, whatever, and it shows you where all these cruise ships are. And we see that there's a ship right here. This is supposedly Antarctica. It's 730 miles from the closest port. How did an active ship get there? Maybe it's just a glitch, right? But we saw multiple ships, right? Zooming out, there's another one here, 905 miles in, right? That puts it like way in here, and it's over 2 miles above sea level. How does a ship get in there?
Right.
If that was a canal or something, the walls on that canal would be over 2 miles high.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. We'd know about that.
Probably.
So there's a ship there. So then we look here. We looked at the ship, and it said it was registered to the nation of Kiribati, which is a tiny little sandbar. Look at the spelling, Kiribati, Caribati. This tiny little nation here, and America, China, Vietnam say that this is a very important trade route for all of us. Now, all these countries are giving them tons of money. Why would and that ship was 850 meters long, like 80 meters wide. That's a gigantic ship. I don't know if I've ever seen one that big.
Yeah.
Right? So what is that ship doing there? And hold on a second. So we have to figure out what the ship is doing there. Right. And the destination, the information said destination unknown. And so there was a whole bunch of ships. By the way, when we look at Kiribati, by the way, this is all unpopulated and it's just people live here in this little tiny part. And there's a Captain Cook hotel. Captain Cook is the guy that allegedly sailed around Antarctica. It took him, went over 60,000 miles. It took him 3.5 years. And weird, somebody's obsessed with Captain Cook. Okay, cool. Right. And here's ships that are hanging out at that island waiting to get on their gigantic pier. And all of them have very little information. And all of them say that their destination is unknown or Christmas Island. Christmas Island. Right. Christmas, there's something up with all of that. Relates to children. We don't have to get into it, but it's weird that, some people say that Kiribati is called Christmas Island. Okay, whatever. Right. And then you're familiar with the nuke hoax, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there was nuke testing on Kiribati. They tell us over the years, and the stories that come out of there, like one guy's like, I saw my bones through my fingers as I held them over my eyes. He's watching too much Bugs Bunny. But that was from a military guy. You get all these guys here. There's supposedly this is a nuclear bomb going off. Zoom in. Nobody cares. This guy in his T-shirt, like, what's for lunch? This guy's going this way. No one's ducking. No one's running. Like, this is what they want you to believe. So if we look at time zones, there's supposed to be straight lines from the North Pole to the South Pole, 24 of them separated like sections of an orange. But there's a weird time zone on the international date line, which cuts across like 3 time zones. And it's weird. This is like a weird little spot right here. But guess what's right here?
Kiribati.
Does that prove anything? No, it's just very strange. Like, what?
It's like
What is going?
It's like the salamander
Yeah.
electoral freaking zone, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So this was a map that was found in a Buddhist temple, 10 centuries old. It was published in 1907 in the newspaper in Hawaii, the Hawaiian Gazette, I think. And it shows all these other continents out here. Now, if you take that and wrapped it around a basketball, all of these other lands would just be crunched up on the bottom of the ball. And we'd say that's Antarctica, but you're not allowed to go there. Well, what if a ship was going out here and then it shows up on our GPS on our ball? It would show up in the middle of Antarctica.
Yeah.
Right? So for those of you that don't follow, so they took our map. This is our map of the world that they pulled out of all the libraries and school books in the 1950s, and they cut it out and they wrapped it around a ball. Now, remember, out beyond that ice was the other continents. Well, they'd all be bunched up down here, and no one's allowed to explore Antarctica. Strike 15, right? And then we made a video about this that was going quite viral. Where's my... Where'd it go? We made a video showing where I just lost what I was looking for. Oh, here we go. So we have this map. Well, what if it was an important trade route from Kiribati out here to hidden lands, other technology? Maybe they're trading food, weapons, computer chips, children. Who knows, right? Yeah. So there could be another one over here, going out here. How would you ever know? Because most of you have never even heard of Kiribati until today. Here's the thing. We made a video about this, and it was going viral. It was going everywhere. People were mirroring it. And when you search Kiribati on Google Earth, drops you right on it. Now, you can't find it unless you zoom in and know where it is and find it, because it's so small. It doesn't show up until you're really low. But now, when you search Kiribati, it brings you to this island. No fanfare, no nothing, right? Where's this island? It's on the other side of the ocean. It's like way across the world. And so when you search Kiribati, it brings you there, not here. And they changed the name of Kiribati to Karamati. There's the old one. That's the new one, right? They changed it from Kiribati to Karamati. So when stuff like that happens, you have to say, why are they doing this? Why, like it's like the Georgia Guidestone. You know about that story, right?
I do.
Yeah. We had another video going viral that the North Star never moved, and it should have over 40 years. It should be out of that hole. And then all of a sudden, somebody blew up the Georgia Guidestones. Excuse me.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
Wow.
So stuff like that does it for me. But the fact that we can see too far, that's the one that got me. We can see, far, far beyond where
the math says we should be able to.
Yeah. People say, oh, well, how come we can't see Paris from New York? Because it's too small? Because your light doesn't travel that far? Wait, light travels for billions of years. No, it doesn't. They told you that. To understand flat Earth, you literally have to throw away everything they ever taught you.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything. And because people hated school, they don't want to do that because they don't want to go back to school. But the truth is, if you went to school and they were teaching you about vortex mathematics and sacred geometry and the true old world and everything that happened, you would be fascinated. You'd probably never want to leave school because it would resonate with your soul. And the truth does resonate for those that see it. When once you go flat, you never glow back. And, you never want to stop learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'm like, I mean, all right, yeah, my brain's a little fried. Just I'm being
Right.
honest with you. You know, I mean, I love this stuff, but it's like, you know, I'm to be, you know, totally honest. I don't really think about it. Does that make sense?
Well, I get it because
Because I've seen enough that makes me question it all.
well,
Right?
I find that this is the one that unlocks people from the matrix. You know, you
Yeah.
wake them up. I had Exposing the Big Three, which was, you know, September event, the Sandy event, and the Boston Marathon.
Yep.
And people go right back to sleep even after learning those undeniable
Yeah.
events were fake. But when you wake up to flat Earth, you can't unsee it. And when you wake up to flat Earth, it connects you a closer connection to the Creator. It takes any doubt. You know, there is no doubt. There are no atheists in flat Earth, and it's not because we believe in God. We believe in God because we saw that this is intelligently designed world that we're in. It's not a Big Bang made up by a Jesuit priest.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I just did an episode a little while ago on Operation Highjump.
Yeah.
What, and none of this stuff, obviously, when you do research, comes up, right? But a little snippet of something came up, like that. You know, what did Admiral Byrd come across?
Right.
And do you have any enlightenment on that?
Well, Admiral Byrd, you know, they changed the story and everything, and then he died, you know, very shortly after he went on the
Shortly
news.
after, right?
Yeah. And he, you know, he went to the outer lands. He found more land. You know, first high jump, this is the average height of all the continents, and Antarctica is twice the height. So if Antarctica really was the shoreline of our world, it would make sense that it's the tallest one out there. Admiral Byrd, I had an Admiral Byrd thing. You know, this is interesting. This is the TSA at the Dallas airport. See what's going on here? What is the TSA doing? They're guarding, right? They're guarding you. They're the ones restricting where you go. Well,
Right.
the TSA, this is the TSA area, and it's got the flat map, and they're guarding Antarctica.
Yeah. Right.
It's the symbolism. It's pretty interesting.
Well, there's also like the maps at the UN,
of course.
and things like that, right?
Yep.
Oof, man. It does, it definitely makes you, God, makes you think, right?
Yeah.
And it shakes people up. I think that's part of the issue, you know, is that they just kind of freak out when they see, oh God, like, no, I can't see that, right?
Yeah. Here is if we go on Google Earth and we measure, we're measuring South America, it tell you the square miles of South America, no problem. That's how Google Earth works. The problem is the Earth isn't really a ball, and when you try to measure down here, watch what happens. It inverts, and it doesn't let you measure Antarctica. Weird.
Wow.
Right? And so we can go other places in the world and measure different things. For example, if we go up, and I think we're going to do Greenland right here. We measure Greenland. Oh, no, I'm going to do the North Pole. That's the other place it doesn't work. And it inverts.
Wow. Wild, right?
But if we do other places like I think Greenland right here, does work. It's just the two places that would tell us where we live don't work.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is when Admiral Byrd went on the news show. Got a flat Earth clock right behind him.
Wild.
Yeah. Man. And, you know, there was a big deal when he went down there. You know, they had a ticker tape parade. I believe this was in New York. Crazy.
Yeah.
But we don't really learn about this stuff in school.
No, we don't.
No.
So, like, what is the sun?
I'd sure like to know.
You know? And, like, what is the moon? What is that?
Yeah. My friend Zach Zambala made a book called a kid's book. What is the sun? What is the moon? Read that. It's as good as any. Um, it.
Somebody's got to know, right?
I think that the
Maybe.
sun. Well, I don't think it's anything that we can literally understand. I think the sun is consciousness. I think the sun that we see is not physical.
Yeah.
I think it's a reflection of the real sun that's within the firmament. We're below the firmament.
Okay.
And we all see it in an apparent position to ourselves. So everyone sees the sun in a different position. That's where you hear flat earthers say, well, there's 8 billion. If there's 8 billion people, there's 8 billion suns. No, we see it in 8 billion different positions, but it's really the same sun.
Yeah. Like, what is your take on the firmament? Physical, energetic? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't make any solid claims, but personally, I don't think we live in this bulbous firmament, glass firmament. I think the sky is almost flat like the earth. It's like a little layer. Think about it. The Go Fast rocket went up. You know about the Go Fast rocket, right?
Yes.
72 miles, it hit something. We had NASA whistleblower that I was communicating with for a while. He says that's as high as we can go is about 72 miles. And that it turns into a plasma, then to a liquid, and then to a solid. And so if you think about it, 72 miles, well, I live in Connecticut. Connecticut's a little tiny state. It's a couple 100 miles. So flip it on its side, it's not a big dome like we see, when we're looking at these domed Earth images. It's really like a flat, maybe it comes down in the outer edges. Or maybe it continues on for another 1,000,000 miles or 10 million miles. Who knows?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we don't even know if there's outer lands. We don't know how far out that goes.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything at all. I would like to believe, and I think there's a lot of evidence showing that there are hidden lands beyond Antarctica, and maybe the sun shines out there also because it's an apparent sun. And it all has to do with the dome. The actual sun is well high above this dome. And so go get a bunch of little plastic glass domes, put them all out and hold the light above, up in the air. And you'll see a separate sun in every one of those domes.
Yeah. Yeah. So many cultures talk about the dome, right? The vault, the sky shell. There's so many different things, ancient descriptions, but like there's so many. I've seen now multiple maps of the outer lands, and it's fascinating to me. Like I just want to know, like, is there more to explore, right?
I think
what's out there.
Yeah.
And is there stories really about like encounters that we've had, that encounters, I say we, but that people from our zone area have had with the outer lands? That are somewhat credible.
Here we're showing you the sun when it's in its different positions between Cancer, the equator, and Capricorn. It creates, this is when it's on the equinox, this is when it's on Capricorn, and this is when it's on Cancer. This is the shape of the light that we see. And then when we do that with a dome, with a glass dome, we can recreate those same shapes.
Yeah.
By moving it in and out. Here I have a dome just on the ground here, and I'm bringing a light in from the side. And as the light comes in, you'll see the sun just appear on the horizon. Oops, I'm sorry, it's over here. You'll see it appear, and it moves across. I'm just bringing the light across. And then you'll see it go down and just disappear. It just fades out like we see it. Interesting.
It is.
So, yeah, here it comes coming in from the right. Am I coming in from the right? Yeah. So here comes the light, and you'll see it appear there, and it comes up and over. This is the apparent sun that we see. That's the real sun.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But again, anything in the sky, you cannot make any solid claims about it.
Right. Well, yeah, can't.
The truth will set you free. That is one of the truest statements ever. Only fear, which is false evidence appearing real, is how you can control. The only way they can control you with fear. If you fear that somebody is going to take over your body, steal your soul, whatever, all of that will happen, right? Fear is how they control you. If you totally understand that nobody can touch you, then nobody can touch you.
Yeah.
We live in an incredible toroid realm construct where there are no limitations if you don't let them fracture your mind. And they fracture your mind by stating false information with authority. So your soul knows all the truth. Your conscious mind is learning in this world. It has amnesia. So your soul's in there trying to urge you, go this way, go this way. Yeah, yes, that's it. That's it. You know, that inner voice, right? But when you are totally lost in the propaganda and the television programming and everything, your soul may just give up at some point, and that's when you get depressed.
Yeah.
Right? That's when you lose your energy, you lose your spark for life. And I've seen Flat Earth pull people out of that and all of the negative stuff that goes with that. But when you state false truths with authority, your mind, the mind of the subject freezes. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because it's a tug of war between, well, I was told before I went to school that teachers are gods. They would never lie to me. They're only going to teach me the truth because it's in the textbooks. Whatever's in the textbooks is truth. That's what you've been programmed with. Then you go to school and they teach you, oh, you go around the sun and you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour. You're orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour. You're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. And that whole thing's moving sideways, but you never notice anything change because we're just too small and you're insignificant, you know? And so your mind freezes, but it stores that information as truthful information. Go ask a 10-year-old, does the earth move or does the sun move? And they'll say that the earth is moving around the sun. And so when you have that in there, then that takes another step is it fractures your connection with higher consciousness. So we're all here to raise our consciousness, but if you have false information being implanted in your brain as factual truth, you literally sever your ability to connect with higher consciousness. And that's the whole goal of this spiritual war.
Yeah. Because you've mentioned that this whole idea, well, your truth connects back to like ancient civilizations and scripture and whatnot. Are there any texts or like traditions specifically that give the strongest support for this? I mean, that Buddhist map you showed was pretty.
Well, every single civilization before us was flat earth. All of them. The Mesa, the Babylonians, the Navajo, the Greek, the Japanese, Persians, Vikings, Indians, Hebrews, everyone. Chinese, Celtics, Africans, Slavic, everyone except NASA. NASA, where's NASA? There's NASA, right? There's NASA. And we're told that, oh, the Greeks figured it out 2,000 years ago with Eratosthenes with his sticks and shadows because the sun rays only come in parallel, right? But we've never seen parallel rays, right? And so, you know, if Eratosthenes was doing his measurement right, if the rays were parallel, it would look like this. We never see rays like this. This is CGI. This is what we see. This is what we see. We see crepuscular rays. So you have these beliefs that, you know, well, 2,000 years ago, Eratosthenes and his buddy figured it out. He walked 500 miles counting his steps and figured out how far he was. And then they took a measurement at the same time. And somehow they communicated with each other and said, oh, yeah, my shadow length was this. And even if that did happen, it's the same. It's not the same. On the flat Earth, the results are the same with a small local sun. Get two uprights, put them on your table. Hold a light directly over one of them, and there'll be no shadow. The other one, the light's over here, and you're going to have a shadow. You can do the same math Eratosthenes did and figure out the sphericity of your table, but your table's flat.
Yeah. Man. Is there any evidence that is good that's against flat Earth?
No. I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Okay, 3. And I was doing a Black Friday sale, 6 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Okay,
Right.
But I don't have to worry about losing them because there are no globe proofs other than, oh, the sun circles in Antarctica. Well, there's actual models that show a circling sun in Antarctica. The sky is non-physical, but even if the sun did circle, and you wanted to say that proves a shape of the Earth, you now have to take in all of the physics-defying nonsense that come with it. Helium and hydrogen, which defy gravity on Earth, having gravity in space that can hold on to Pluto but ignore our moon, burns 600 billion tons a minute of fuel but never gets any smaller over billions of years. Whoa. Just lost my light. Am I looking a little dark now?
No, yeah, a little darker, but
a little
not too
dark.
Bad.
I'll talk. So, give me a second. Again, all of this nonsense is unbelievable.
Literally.
And people want to just believe. People just want to believe. They just want to believe. Again, people don't want to admit that they've been fooled their entire life. Coming back. There we go. All right. Good. Talk to me. Good.
So, if tomorrow, undeniable visual proof surface that aligned with your model, what changes do you think humanity would experience? Like,
well, we
if
don't
it
have to
was just-
wait. We don't have to wait for tomorrow because there's undeniable proofs now.
Right.
It's like if undeniable proof of the globe came, then I'd have to relook at it, but it's not. It's not coming because it's not true.
Yeah.
There is undeniable proof other than, nah,
No. Yeah,
no,
right.
no, how come ships disappear from the bottom up? I'm like, hold on, check this out. So if something doesn't curve, then it's what?
Flat.
If something doesn't move, then it's what?
Stationary.
Correct. So this is the Chicago skyline over Lake Michigan. Now, all spheres have a limit to how far you can see. Now, you and I could be outside and it could be foggy and we could be 20 yards from each other and we can't see each other. Does that mean that Earth curve or just
No.
we can't see each other? No.
Right.
But let's say it's a perfectly clear day over perfectly calm water, no humidity, no pollution, no nothing. And you're 6 feet tall standing at the edge of a calm lake. You shouldn't be able to see the surface of that water beyond 3 miles because there's 6 feet of curve. If you sat down, it would be even closer. Your horizon will be even closer. So when we look at Chicago, well, I can't see the bottoms of the buildings. The problem is the top of the tallest building should be 200 feet below the curve.
Right.
And there's a reason that we can't see the bottoms of the buildings. And that's a longer conversation, but it's easy. But people say it's a mirage. So let's look at this mirage. This is a time lapse. Look, we got the buildings right here, right? They're not moving. And so a mirage has to do with weather, right? The humidity, this and that, whatever. Well, this is over 18 hours. And none of these buildings are moving. There's weather coming in. It looks like it rained for a couple seconds, right? Humidity, heat, cool, night. And the buildings aren't moving. The top of this building should be 100 or 200 feet below the curve, right?
Yeah.
That was the end.
And I've been at like the Indiana Dunes and seen the city backlit by, you know, I've been there. My family's originally from Illinois, so it was always like, that's such a iconic view from the other side of the lake.
Right. This is whoops. This is 80 mile shot. And we can see that city. It's Atlanta, 80 miles away. That would be impossible.
On a ball.
On a ball, impossible. Here is what I'm looking for. Where is my other one? So, this is where we get the nah. This is 700 miles away. Make it a little bigger. There's over 50 miles of curvature. See these mountains. Now the globers will say those are clouds. Those are the mountains. And if you had the high res and you looked in, you can see them. And this is something people can go reproduce. You can go reproduce this. This is Mount Canigou from Aluja, France. And you can't see it until the sun goes beyond it. And then all of a sudden you can see it. There's only 2 days a year, twice a year for maybe a day or two, that the sun will line up with Mount Canigou. And the top of that mountain should be over half a mile below the curve from that position. Now they're saying it's clouds. No, it's not. This is the actual profile of the mountain. And so the official explanation is, well, the mountains are over the curve and the sun has already set. And it's below the curve. But it's below the curve, but it's refracting up. And so the dark mountain's refracting up, blocking the refracting sun. Can you explain how that works? How does a refraction block another refraction? The reason you can't figure it out isn't because you're stupid. It's because it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Wow.
People will say, "Oh, I can't see the bottom of the boat." Well, you can't see the bottom of the boat here because of these waves, these swells. But look, you can see the water far beyond the boat. So it's not over the curve. It's behind a wave. And guess what? This isn't the freaking curve either. These are just waves that are blocking everything in the distance because things in the distance are smaller.
Yeah. And just because it's flat doesn't mean it's flat.
Right. So this is the Space Needle, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see all these buildings, right? They're not behind the curve, but as we zoom out, they completely disappear. Not over the curve, although they should be at that distance. They should be right there. Do you know where they got the measurements of the Earth from?
Where?
They stole them from the limits of our vision, right? They took exactly the angular resolution of our eyes and made that the horizon. They took the math of our eyes and built it around a ball.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, if you go on my app, let's see. Let me just see if I can remember. I think if you go on the app and you click the magnifying glass, and I think you type in eyesight, EYE.
I like that.
If you type in, oops, what I put it under? That should show up under eyesight. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's because it's one word. Sorry, I broke it into 2 words. So right here, here's it's about an 8-minute video breaking down the math for you, exactly how it's done. So again, you can find all the videos that you want. Eyesight is one word. Search and it'll come up first. There it is. So that video right there will break it down for you. The problem is people rather just believe than take the time, effort, and energy to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Where do I live? Do you know?
Do I know where you live?
Yeah, I told you earlier. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Where?
Connecticut.
Okay. Do you know I live in Connecticut, or do you believe
it?
No,
you told me you did. So,
but you believe it. You stored it as truthful information, probably, right?
Yep.
Gun to your head. Do I live in Connecticut? Now you're not so sure.
Actually, no, you don't. You live in Westchester.
Well, no, I am in Connecticut.
Oh, you are in Connecticut.
But you still don't know. I just told you. It's easier to believe. But here's the thing. We can't go through life having to verify every single thing. We judge by what would the motivation for lying be, the facial expression, the tone of the voice, why he's telling me that, the time he's just everything in a microsecond. You store, okay, all of that registers stored as truth, right? And that's what happens with kids in school. Teachers are good. It's in the book. The teachers are teaching from the book. Therefore, it's true. And they take off, they label it as 100% truth.
Yeah,
and therefore they don't have to
memorization.
It's not. It's memorization and regurgitation. And that's how you get a diploma.
Yeah. It's not actual knowledge. I mean,
it's not. It's actual. It's anti-knowledge. And when someone says, "Where's your degree?" The higher a degree that you have in most things is, the more indoctrinated that you are.
Oh yeah, I would totally agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
So, since we're coming close to the end of the hour, with everything that's going on, the awakening, people are waking up, which I totally agree is happening on multiple levels. Where do you think this conversation goes next? Like, I mean, like hidden lands, hidden civilizations, or a total rediscovery of our place in the cosmos?
Well, I say that the old world is tied to flat Earth. On my app, if you go to the Griffin button, that's the old world button. This page alone will keep you busy for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Do you watch My Lunch Break, the red ones here?
I do. I've watched a few. I've watched a few. Yes.
You got to keep watching them. And there's so many others. That John Levy, one of the, excuse me, the OGs. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Just start watching these. And again, why would they lie? To hide the old world, to hide airships. You know that we had cruise ships in the sky?
Yeah.
Cruise ships,
I mean,
with thousands of people on them, theaters, restaurants, estate rooms, cruising all over the earth. It's incredible. And they're hiding all of this from us.
This
because
is like the Tartaria.
Well, that's one word for it,
Tartaria. That's just
right.
one word for it, right?
Yeah. So all of this stuff is being hidden from you. And when you understand, what this place isn't, and where you are in it and who you are in it, you can take your power back. So when you take your power back, people are like, well, I'm just one guy. I got to go to work on Monday and there's nothing I can do. Bull crap. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and people don't fight. People just contribute to the slavery. Yes, steal 40%, 50% of my money. It's okay. I agree. It's voluntary. You're a fool. So again, when you learn about this world and your rights within it and the power that you have, it's amazing. But most people are never taught about it. For people that are new to this, I recommend Crow 777 Radio. He's in the homeschool section on my app. You hit the little home button, Crow right here. He's all about everything from health to wealth to everything. And you'll learn more. I've told people, don't send your kids to school, have them listen to Crow. And a bunch of people did it.
Yeah.
And these kids literally stopped playing their Xboxes. They started getting interested in the world. They're starting their own businesses. Their friends are getting out of college now and in debt and don't know what the hell to do because they didn't learn anything. And these guys have skills now because they're following their path.
Yeah, like he's got those pictures that he takes of the sun.
The sun with the hydrogen alpha telescope. Yeah,
it's
amazing.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, they're absolutely mind-blowing stuff.
And then the second sun.
The second sun. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think the second sun is the real sun, and the sun that we're seeing is what he's calling the first sun. Gotcha. Here's just a little clip from Crow, and he's got this in super high def. Does this look like a burning ball of hydrogen in a space vacuum?
No. Yeah.
This is consciousness. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Again, and for those of you that want to learn more, go to my website, flatearthdave.com. I'm going to be speaking at Anarchapulco in February. It's a truther conference like no other. It's a. Have you ever been?
I haven't, but I've always wanted to go. I'll get there.
This year
it'll happen.
it's in Puerto Vallarta. It's not in Acapulco. Acapulco is a little difficult to get to. It's in beautiful Puerto Vallarta. Right? Yeah, and it's February 15th through the 20th, and it's not just flat Earth. You know, they just started having flat Earth 3 years ago with me, and the vast majority of people are flat now. It's incredible. People that are awake are getting there, and there's some truthers out there that just haven't quite come there yet because their programming won't let them look. Yeah. When your programming says, don't look at this, don't even listen, know that you're programmed.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm a little beyond that, but not much. Like you've opened up my horizons a little bit more than a lot more, but you know what I mean? Like I'm heading down. I have your app. How can people get your app?
Just go to my website, flatearthdave.com, and the link's right there. It's on It's on Google Play and at the Apple App Store. Just be careful on Google Play. There's some knockoff ones you don't want to get. So just go to flatearthdave.com, click it right there. It's $3 one-time charge. You get all the stuff. Now there's some higher functions on there. If you want to be able to message people on the friend finder. So if I go on the friend finder, real quick. So this is going to show you the other flat earthers around me, and I can message them. I can send out a radius. These are just the people around me. But if I look at the world, I'll take a world view here. It shows you that there's flat earthers everywhere, right? Yeah, here's America. It's almost a black dot at this point. All right.
Yeah.
And in the UK, right here, and Australia, they're everywhere. Here's New Zealand. New Zealand's taken off.
Yeah.
And and this represents probably less than 1% of the flat earthers out there because they haven't even heard of me.
Right.
So we are at that hockey stick moment. You can search images on here. Like if I said, I wanted to show you that pond picture. You just type in pond, POND, and there it is. There's the pond picture. If you wanted, someone says, sun under clouds. So you type in sun under, and you have a whole bunch of examples how the sun is not under the clouds. It's actually lighting the tops of the clouds, even though it appears to be under, and it's just due to perspective. You can find anything in there. There's thousands and thousands of pictures. There's the old world section. There's shopping stuff if you want to find flat earth merchandise. There's the homeschool section, and all sorts of stuff. There's a biblical section, which is absolutely amazing. Go right here and just watch the first few videos in here. Again, all sorts of amazing stuff. And again, if you believe in the Bible or you don't, either way, you should watch those videos.
Right.
And then
Right.
There's more resources section. There's all sorts of stuff. They got the Earth curve calculator. I got the flat Earth experiments. All experiments have been done for you. Just go watch them. Then redo them yourself if you want. So there you go.
Very cool.
And the frequently asked questions is one of the biggest pages on here. When people say, where does the sun go? Right there. That's where the sun goes. Click that puppy. Or why the lie? That's my favorite section of all. There's really, really, really good stuff there. So again, oops, come on, get out of there. So when people say why the lie, I have one good answer, and let me show it to you. Where is my why the lie? What happened to why the lie? Oh, there it is. What do you think why do you think they lie?
I mean, you got to look at it as it's got to be about power. It's got to be about control and power, right?
Right. So we are incredible, cosmic, connected, timeless, immortal beings. That's the true us, right? We're here having this physical experience. We are connected to everything, but they don't want us to know that. So how do you disconnect people? You literally tell them they live on a globe, which limits everything. It's lack, it's fear, and nonsense.
The next world is 5 million light years away.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
We'll never get there.
The closest star is 25 trillion miles away. So if you and I were in a spaceship going a mile per second faster than anyone's ever gone, right? 25 trillion. So in 1 trillion seconds, we've gone 1 trillion miles. We got to do that 24 more times, right? Do you know how long 1 trillion seconds is?
Oh, God.
31,000 years.
Yeah.
So we got to do 31,000 years 25 times to get to the closest star. But if Elon lends us a rocket that goes an unfathomable 100,000 miles an hour, no one's ever even come close to that, not even in the same ball field,
Right.
it would only take us 28,000 years to get there.
Only.
Yeah.
Only 28,000.
Or maybe, just maybe, again, maybe this is all that there is, but maybe, type in map here, maybe the world is set up like this. Maybe this is our local pond. We live right here in the center. That white ring is Antarctica. And out here, what's this? Extra territory, terra, extraterrestrials from the outer space right here on Earth. And you want to take it to the next level. This is my favorite. Again, there's no proof that this is real. But if we go here, oops, not there. That's the moon map. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Where did my Terra Infinita map go? There it is. So what if the realm was set up like this? We live here in the center here. This is our local pond. And then there's other ponds, other pieces of the plane or planets, if you will. Yeah. And they all have their own suns. These are all like little domes across the plane. Pretty crazy.
Seems more organized than what
than outer space, the Big Bang flying through all over. Here's the thing. No proof of this other than this is physically possible in this realm. The heliocentric hypothesis is completely nonsensical, ridiculous, and impossible.
Right.
There you go. FlatEarthDave.com. Come to Anarchapulco. Bring the family. February. Who wants to be here in February? Nobody. Come to Puerto Vallarta. Easy to get to from the U.S. and Canada.
Awesome. Dave, thank you so much. You've opened some minds, I think.
I hope so. Just don't believe anything I say and don't believe the trolls. Listen, what's going to happen is flat earthers are going to comment and they're going to make important, uplifting comments. They're going to answer questions in the comment section here. But the haters, the anti-flat earthers are going to just insult. They're not going to bring any proofs and go look at their channels. There's nothing on them. They're empty channels. They're trolls. They're bots. They're lazy agents or whatever they are. And there's nothing there. That should tell you alone right there. That tells you what's going on here. What's going on here? Why do real people support the flat earth and just the crazy, lazy bots and trolls, have their non-arguments? They, you know what? Earth, if the earth was a globe, I wouldn't be doing this because somebody would have shown me already.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming on.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Have a nice day. When
dashboard, static humming in the night. Radio whisper stories that don't fit the satellite. They taught us we were spinning, flying fast around the sun. But something in the silence says the race was never run. Shadow on the globe line, something doesn't match. If the world is just a circuit, who designed the patch? We're on the edges of the map where the street lights fade, where the sins get low and the truth gets strange. If the earth's not round but a secret they kept, then the lies are the monsters creeping under your bed. Yeah, we're right on the edges of the map tonight. Charts in a basement, red tape across the files. Cold wind from Antarctica, like a fortress stretched for miles. Dave says there's a boundary and the compasses agree. Even pilots flying level say the sky feels like a screen. What if we're not turning? What if stillness is real? What if science is a lock and the truth is the reveal? We're on the edges of the map where the street lights fade, where the sins get low and the truth gets strange. If the earth's not round but a secret they kept, then the lies are the monsters creeping under your bed. Yeah, we're out on the edges of the map tonight. Flashlights cut the darkness, ice walls in the haze. A dome above is glowing like circuitry ablaze. If the stars are coded pixels in a sky that doesn't spin, then the map was never broken, it was locked from within.